Good day, sir. Today, we will talk about the case of Dunlop Pneumatic Tire Corporation Limited versus New Garage and Motor Corporation Limited. It was determined in year 1914. To begin with, the facts of this case were the tire manufacturers, Dunlop, sold motor car tires to the defendant, New Garage, with an agreement to pay £5 for each and every tire sold in breach of the agreement, and as by the way of liquidated damages, and not a penalty, clause 5. However, the appellants learned that the respondents sold tires under the current list price, so they raised actions and demanded damages in breach of the clause. The case was tried and it was proved that there was a breach of contract. An inquiry was raised to the Lordship as to damages. The court should decide whether the £5 was a penalty or liquidated damages. Let's analyze this case using the IRAC method. Issue. The case is essentially about when a court will determine a clause to be a penalty which relates to liquidated damages. In short, a liquidated damages clause. Though the parties use the words penalty or liquidated damages, the court must still find out whether the payment stipulated is in truth a penalty or a liquidated damages. Rules. First, we will discuss the two words, penalty and liquidated damages. We should know their difference. So, what is a penalty? It will be a penalty if it is not a genuine pre-estimate of the damage. A penalty is not directed to the consequences of a breach, but seeks to coerce performance. Miscan versus James 2009. When we say coerce performance, it means a penalty should put pressure on the party to do their job right, or else it would be punishable and they would suffer the consequences. On the other hand, what is a liquidated damages? A liquidated damages is a genuine pre-estimate of the damage. Illustrated by Lord Halsbury and Clydebank Engineering and Shipbuilding Corporation versus Don Ramos Escudero y Castañeda, it's a clause in a contract that says if we break the contract, we have agreed an amount that you will pay in the form of damages. Basically, a liquidated damages already determined the amount that will be payable if there is a breach of contract. If there is an amount fixed in the contract, that should be paid in an event of breach. Therefore, the damages are liquidated. To make it clearer, a penalty must be all out of proportion. So, if you charge someone an erroneous amount of money, then that would be a penalty. Say, to charge someone to pay more than a threefold of the normal amount, then it is a penalty. The main point is, if you overestimate, that's not a genuine pre-estimate, that's a penalty. But if you underestimate the amount indicated, then you'll be stuck with it, since you already agreed with the amount and there's no way to change what is agreed upon. Application. So what did the court do to determine if it is a liquidated damages? There are guidelines set by the court in determining the amount payable is a penalty. It is a penalty if the amount is extravagant and unconscionable. Secondly, it will be also held a penalty if the breach consists not only paying a sum of money and the sum stipulated or demanded is a sum greater which ought to have been paid. Campbell versus Farren. Thirdly, there is a presumption, but not more, that it is a penalty when a single lump of money is made payable by the way of compensation, which means it's a process of concealing or offsetting. However, it is a liquidated damages if there is amount specified in the contract, and the amount must be a genuine pre-estimate of the loss flowing from the breach. Conclusion. This case talks about a liquidated damages clause. It is proven that there was a contract, that in the contract there was a liquidated damages clause, and the liquidated damages clause provided £5, and that amount is not a penalty but a liquidated damages as it was a genuine pre-estimated loss. The significance of this case is the guideline set by Lord Dunedin in determining whether the sum in the contract as being payable in the event of breach constitute a penalty or liquidated damages.